And I got to start with my Knicks because this is as exciting a time as we've seen with the New York Knicks, maybe since the mid-90s with Patrick Ewing. Folks, the Knicks big winners trading for Mikal Bridges. They are going all in on chemistry. Mikal Bridges was had for 5 draft picks, okay? We'll get to that shortly, but I've got to start with I absolutely love what my Knicks are doing. They're now the Villanova Knicks because they got 4 guys in Brunson, DiVincenzo, Bridges, and Hart, who won a title in Villanova back maybe like 7-8 years ago, and now they're reunited, and it feels so good in New York. I know a lot of people are poo-pooing the deal. The Knicks overpaid. We'll get to that shortly, but I need to start with something because it feels like for months on this show, we've been talking about how the Knicks they've got the draft assets. They can go for a number 1. They can go grab Karl Anthony Towns. The Knicks can go after Joel Embiid. Maybe we can pluck him from Philadelphia. What about Paul George? All we've been hearing is, hey, the Knicks need either a number 1 star or a number 2 to go with Jalen Brunson, who maybe isn't a 1, maybe he's a 1B, and all that nonsense. Folks, the Knicks are disrupting or attempting to disrupt the NBA hierarchy of you need superstars to win in the league. You need one of the 5 or 10 best players. You need the Shaq and Kobe. You need the Jokic, the multiple-time MVP. You need that superstar. And the Knicks are saying, not so fast, my friends. There's another way to skin a cat, as they like to say. We've seen this throughout the economy at large, outside of sports, right? We saw the internet disrupt traditional media. We then saw social media disrupt the internet and websites. And now we're starting to see AI taking over, disrupting Google and their dominance in search. And I mean, listen, in the vehicle market, we're seeing EVs disrupting automobiles. In the NFL, look what the 49ers are doing. Hey, we know everybody needs a quarterback, and then you build around the QB. Why don't we try something different? Why don't we try building the infrastructure and then plugging in a Jimmy Garoppolo, a Brock Purdy, and let's see how that works out. And they've been to a couple Super Bowls. The Knicks are doing the same thing. We don't need no superstar. We can build with chemistry. And what they've got with this team in New York right now, folks, their odds shifted after the Bridges trade. They have now the 3rd best odds to win the title after Boston and Denver. This is a massive shock to the system. And listen, you don't need to go far to see what Minnesota did when they said, we're going to trade a bunch of picks for Rudy Gobert. They were openly mocked. Didn't go great the first year. What happened in year 2? They were built to take down Denver, and that's just what they did in the postseason. Gobert matched up with Jokic. It went swimmingly, Minnesota to the conference finals. If you look at this New York roster, 1 through 9, folks, they match up great with the Boston Celtics. You now have, between Bridges and Anunoby, the 2 best defensive wings in the league to match up with Brown and Tatum. Then you've got your point guard in Brunson. And oh, by the way, giving up 5 draft picks. I saw a headline on a website. Knicks fleeced for Mikal Bridges. No-time All-Star Mikal Bridges for 5 first-round picks. Are you crazy? Doesn't really matter. The Knicks are built now to battle Boston. New York is clearly the 2nd-best team in the East. That's undeniable. I don't care what Joel Embiid does. Joel Embiid adds Paul George to Tyrese Maxey and the kid McCain, who I like in the draft. It's not going to matter. The Knicks are better 1 through 9. They kept Julius Randle. Jason, Julius Randle, come on, he's trade bait. Maybe. He's also a 2-time All-NBA player in the last 3 years. Julius Randle's a very solid player to go with Brunson and Anunoby and Bridges. And oh, by the way, you got glue guy Josh Hart. You got Donte DiVincenzo. Folks, I know people are saying they're going to lose Hartenstein, the center, who was invaluable. But I want to remind everybody what they did last night, the Knicks in the draft. With 25, they got a draft and stash European player. And then at 26, they traded it. So now they're able to save, I think I saw the number was $3 million. If that is able to keep Hartenstein, that's another win for the Knicks. And I'm telling you right now, I remember those 90s Knicks teams. Remember, I was not a Jordan fan. I was a Knicks fan, born in New York. I love New York. This team is ready to make a run like the Patrick Ewing team did in the 90s. I love the New York Knicks and what they've done this draft week. Now let's pivot to my other team, the Los Angeles Lakers. Jay, how are you a Knicks-Lakers fan? Well, I was born in New York, And then the first couple games I went to as a young guy were Knicks-Lakers, as fortune would have it. And I fell in love with Magic Johnson and the Showtime Lakers. And a lot has been written about the Lakers in the last 24 hours. They get one of the steals in the draft in Dalton Knecht. Now, Colin likes to make fun of me, okay, for watching and gambling on college basketball all season. He's like, Jay, what are you doing? I love me some college hoops. And I'll tell you right now, Dalton Knecht was one of the best stories in college basketball last season. This is a guy who went to junior college. He grew 3 inches from like a 6'3" point guard to a 6'6" wing. He went to the Big Sky. He went from second team all Big Sky to first team All-American at Tennessee. He is an assassin when it comes to shooting. I think he scored 38 against Purdue in the NCAA tournament, which they lost. I think he gave UNC 40, dropped like 39 on Kentucky. This guy is a sniper. He kind of sort of might remind the Lakers' new coach, JJ Redick, of himself. And he was nearly right. A lot of the mock drafts that are respected had Knecht as a top 10 pick, some top 6. Now, I've been doing the NBA draft for a long time. I didn't have Knecht in the lottery because I know the history. He's 23 years old. The history of 23-year-olds in the lottery is littered with failure. A lot of that has to do with, hey, this is a guy who was 22, 23 as a college basketball player playing against teenagers. Of course he's going to slaughter them. And so those guys drafted high usually end up being massive failures. But Knecht fell out of the lottery, and oh, by the way, he fell into the lap of LeBron and Anthony Davis. Pretty good place to fall. Now, Redick, if you guys recall, was a guy at Duke who was an absolute sniper, one of the best scorers I've ever seen in college basketball. But his prototype was like, this guy can't. Who can he defend? J-Mac, he might not be able to defend you in your men's league. Who could Dalton Knecht defend? It's a different story, folks. It's a different league right now. You want those switchable wings. Will people pick on Dalton Knecht? Maybe. But you know what? He's got Anthony Davis behind him. I can tell you right now, unequivocally, Dalton Knecht will be a key rotation player for the Lakers this season, unlike the guy they drafted, Hood Schifino, last year, who did absolutely nothing. He was one of those upside plays. So Knecht is a big win, which leads me to JJ Redick and Knecht. I think it's going to be a good marriage. I'm almost certain that Knecht kind of pushed for him, Redick pushed for Knecht. But something Redick said at his presser was kind of glossed over, and I want to touch on it because I absolutely love this topic. Kind of love JJ Redick now. Engagement farming. What a phrase. Oh my gosh. Can I borrow that, JJ? Can I use that? Because it's incredible. And it's actually spot on. You guys, listen, once he said that, he was critically panned. Social media, columnists, all the traditional media, they ripped him. You don't come out slinging F-bombs in your introductory press conference. But Redick claims to not care. Now, I will remind everybody, within the last year, JJ Redick was part of that engagement farming economy that is the sports media. And he's not wrong.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.